relational experience? Do you know your counselor for Boise campus? Do you know your counselor? Let me see those who have not seen their school counselor before. Okay, do you know his name? I'm coming to people. I'm going to ask. Maybe some people are looking at me. I know you don't know. Now I'm coming to you. What's the name of your school counselor? Master, I know you don't know. Do you know my man, Bossu? Do you know his name? Have you seen him before? You've not seen him before. Okay, let me see those who have not seen their school counselor. Let me see by hand. If you know you've not seen him before, because I'm coming to you. Let me see your hand. If you raise up your hand, you are exonerated. You are out. Okay. So only two, meaning you've seen him before. And you can identify him. You've seen him before. Obahoko. Have you seen him before? Is he here? Are you sure? Okay. Okay, let me see by hand those who know his name. All of you raise up your hand because his name is on the sheet. Okay, sorry. We are smart. Okay.
Hello. Good morning to you all, and welcome to today's seminar. I believe it is not by chance that we are all here, but then it is by purpose, okay? And my name is Mankade Kwabena, a third year student. I'm a peer counselor as well. I'd like us to start the program. We have few people here, so we would have to start, okay? We can't still wait for them. They will join us as we progress, all right? So I'd like us to take the opening prayer, and then I would like to call on our dear sister Victoria to, can we give her a round of applause for that?
Please, we are praying. Our Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. Father, Lord, as we are here, we pray for your presence. Father, Lord, whatever thing that we will hear from this place, may we apply it to our lives so that in the end it will be a blessing unto us. This and many more blessings we ask through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Thank you so much for the short prayer. Let's give her a round of applause. Let's give her a round of applause. You can do better. You can do better. Great. All right, so I would like to take this opportunity to give a welcome address. I would like to call the person to take the welcome address is no person than our very own Mr. Stephen Ofori, the counselor of Obuasi campus. Let's give him a round of applause as he comes.
Thank you very much, Derek. My colleagues from the main campus, KPC executives, and students who are here, good morning. Oh, I want to hear your response. Good morning. Yeah, thank you very much. On behalf of the coordinating team, registrar, and the head of Knust Counseling Center, that's KCC, I want to welcome you to this important function or seminar, that is psychoeducation. This is an annual program KCC organizes for all first-year students to augment the orientation program that is usually organized by the university, just to help you to adjust quickly, and then for you also to have a smooth takeoff for your academic journey on campus. The topics for this program have been carefully selected and tailored to suit your needs at this time of your academic life. So I therefore urge you to stay through the program, make some notes, ask relevant questions, and then make some insightful contributions to the program. On this note, especially my colleagues from the main campus, you are welcome to Obuasi, the land of good. So once you are here, as I've told some of you, every stone you'll be stepping on, check whether it may be containing good. Okay. And then to our students, enjoy the program. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Stephen Ofori. Indeed, you're welcome to the land of gold. Without much ado, I would like to take our next presentation. All right, so the person going to take this presentation is one beautiful lady, very endowed with knowledge. She's going to share a lot with you, and I believe you will take home something great. Without much ado, once again, let's give her a round of applause, Miss Joanne Soruban. All right.
Hi, good morning to you all. It's lovely to see your faces. Thank you so much for making time to be here with us. We are so grateful. Okay? Okay. Yeah, I think I heard that this place is a land of gold. I haven't seen some, so please, can someone get me? I would like to carry a stone away with gold in it, okay? All right, so my topic is on adjusting to your new life here on campus, away from home. You arrived on the 14th, right? Yes. So you've been almost a month old here. How's it been for you so far? Interesting. Yeah? Comfortable? Are some of you comfortable as of now? Or some of you are still struggling to adjust? Still struggling to adjust? You'll be fine, okay? Usually the first year is not so smooth, but after the first year, you will know your way around and you'll be fine. So you'll be teaching those who come after you, okay? Yeah, so take it easy on yourselves. It's normal. Don't be afraid and don't run away home. Just stay and concentrate. You'll be fine. Okay. Mr. Rabbi engaged with you some few minutes ago the difference between your senior high schools and then the university. So my topic is just to also emphasize on that and to give you some tips on how to adjust or manage your time here on campus. Okay, so it's going to be very brief. I know you've heard a lot from parents, from significant others, from your lecturers, and even from your own colleagues. So I'm just going to add my voice to what you've heard, just to give some little backing. I'm sure most of the things I'll be mentioning, you already have an idea. Okay. So, we know that in the senior high schools, there's a structure. When you go to school, you are given a timetable. You know that whether it's a boarding school or it's a day school, you know that when you wake up in the morning, they'll ring a bell to wake up, right? And then when you wake up, you're supposed to do some things before you go for your class. Then you have your breakfast. Then you go back to class, then lunch. So there's that structure there. But the university has not got that for you. So it means that since you came, you've had to decide the time to wake up, the time to go for lectures, whether to even go for lectures or not. It's all dependent on you. No one comes to tell you to do that. Is anyone struggling to do that for himself or herself? Okay, that's very good. All right. So the purpose of the university education is to help you develop holistically. So you are here not just for academic purposes, which is your main goal though, but then at the end of the day, you are supposed to be fully baked as a person. So that when you leave here, you have your degree, but then you've also established some contact with people. You've established some very solid friendships, okay? And perhaps you have grown as a person in your mental abilities and your emotional state and all of that. So make sure that you make use of all the facilities and every program that you hear of, which will be beneficial to you. Because when you leave this place, you are going into the world of work, and you wouldn't get someone coming to tell you some of these things that perhaps you are hearing from us. So this is the opportunity for you to learn and to develop yourselves as, individuals. Okay. So it's not an easy process. Some of you said you are still struggling to adjust. It's not always easy adjusting in a new environment. Your homes, you had a different, relationship. Perhaps you were living with your parents and you lived with your families. You went to school, you had some friends. But now, here, you are alone, more or less. You do not have your parents with you. And you have to form new friendships, relationships. So it can be very stressful. Coupled with that, you have to also adjust to the environment you are in. Going for lectures, where to even go for your lecture, the lecturers you'll be meeting, how to relate with them, your classmates, your roommates. Some of us struggle living with people. So all those things can be very, very stressful. But like I said, usually it's difficult in the first year, but as you progress, after the first year, you realize that you have become experts. It shouldn't be so much of a problem for you, okay? So some of the changes you can expect, especially in your first semester or your first year, you have a lot of freedom to do whatever it is you want to do, 24 hours at your disposal. But also remember that just as you have freedom, you also have responsibilities. Okay? So you are here, you are free. Maybe you don't have your parents telling you what to do. You don't have your teachers back in senior high school telling you what to do, or your older siblings. But you have to decide for yourself what you need to do on a daily basis. So the responsibility will come from that. Not just you having free time, but then what do you do as you are here? Because you came to school to learn, and maybe some of you perhaps to meet your future spouses, or to build some connections that can help you in the future. So what do you do to achieve all of those things? You also have to manage your time really well. It's not easy because you have 24 hours. The 24 hours, you have to go for lectures. You have to have your own study time. You need to also sleep. We'll talk about sleep later. Some of you study throughout the night and then you don't sleep at all, which is very dangerous for you. So you need to manage your time. And then you also are in a different environment, different from where you came from, your homes and senior high schools. And of course, as you are here, you are growing. I don't know the least age here, but I'm sure some of you might be 16, 17, 18. By the time you complete school, you'll be a different person altogether. And that can also affect the relationship you have with your families and your friends back at home. You may live here and you have a different mindset altogether. So you get back home and you are unable to adjust in the homes because now you are used to doing things for yourself in a certain way. You go back home and your parents insist that you do things the way you used to do, and that can be a form of conflict for some of you. So be aware of some of these things. I'm sure you are aware, since you've been a month old, you know that the school work is a lot, it involves a lot. I'm sure some of you might have to go for lectures from 8 to say 5, no break, or even more than that. And so it is a lot of work, and it means that you need to concentrate. And of course, the teaching methods will be different here. Lecturers might give you some slides like I'm doing, and might explain, or some of them will tell you to go to the libraries and make your own notes. So you need to adjust to all of that. And we want to tell you that to succeed here in the university, you need to balance your time. You need to manage your time really well so that you can succeed. How many years are you doing? 4 years, all of you? Or 6, some of you? 4, all of you, okay. So at the end of the day, you need to be able to manage your time. They say time management is your ability to plan and exercise control of time spent on activities. So how many of you here have already designed your personal timetables? Okay, that's a good number. And are you able to follow? Or you have to modify as you go along? All right, that's fine. But it's good that you have it, okay? If you don't have it, try and plan. You know the number of lectures you have in a day. And you know that at the end of the day, you probably have to make some room for your own private studies to go over what you've done. You may have to attend church service, maybe go for a group meeting, maybe go watch a movie. All of these things you have to include in your personal timetable so that you be guided. You may not be able to follow every day as you've written down, but then at least you might be able to achieve quite a number on your timetable. So if you do not have that, I know some of you are spontaneous, so having a timetable will be a problem, but it still serves as a guide. Okay, so try and have that done, and then you can follow it. Be organized, okay, if you want to be able to achieve your aim here. I would say that you need to, at least before the following day, or if you want, you can even use Sundays. Everybody and how they do things, okay? But at least organize your things, what you need to take for lectures, the dresses you're wearing, and even plan your lunch. Most of you stay away, very far away from here. And so when you're coming for lectures, at least carry something in your bags to eat. It's better to cook and eat here when you have time than to go and buy. It's cheaper and it's healthier. Okay, so don't neglect as you pack your books and the things you need for lectures, make sure that you also include your food. Okay, because you need the nutrients. Your body needs the nutrients for you to be able to study. Okay, so go to the next page, please. Yes, so this is just something to guide you on managing your time. And as you can see in the first box, they say manage short-term crises and problems. So say, for example, you've been given an assignment and you are supposed to submit it in 3 days' time. That should be something on your mind. That should be something that you have to give most of your attention to. And not wait till the deadline to now struggle to, finish the work. Okay? It's important that you try and finish your assignment on time, and so that when the day comes for you to submit, you can do that without any stress. The second one is your long-term goals. I'm sure when you decided to apply and come to a university, you had plans for your lives, what you want to do after school. So that can be your long-term goal. Okay, maybe you want to become a nurse after here, or maybe a lab technician, whatever it is you have in mind. Make sure that that is always there to guide you. Well, because sometimes when things are becoming overwhelming, we can lose track of what our aims are and the reasons for coming here in the first place. Okay, so it's very important that you at least all the time remember that you have a focus, you have a plan for coming to the university in the first place. And let that guide you. So we have long-term, short, medium-term, and long-term goals. If you are setting a goal, what is your short-term? An example of a short-term goal would be that maybe at the end of, you'll be writing mid-semester exams very soon, right? So by the time mid-sem comes, you should have completed or gone over all that you have studied so far. That could be a short-term goal. Maybe the medium-term goal would be that at the end of the first semester, you want your CWA to be 60 or 70 or 50, whatever it is you want. The long-term goal is that maybe you want to complete with a first class or an upper. Okay? And if you have these goals, it means that you need to concentrate, okay, and have them always in mind to guide you. It's very, very important. You've come, but very soon you'll be having, well, maybe, I don't know about Obuasi campus that much, but there could be a lot of activities, other activities, which are not academic related. And some of you could get distracted along the way. That's why I keep mentioning that let that be in your mind so that it can guide you. How many of you here know yourselves, your abilities and your strengths and your weaknesses? All right, fine. If you do know yourself, that is very good. If you do not know, please go and see your counselor. He's here to support you, okay? Know yourself because we all have different abilities and strengths and weaknesses. Someone might be very good at capturing everything at the lecture hall and wouldn't probably have to study again. But if you're like me, you probably have to spend more hours on a daily basis going over what you have been taught. So know who you are. Know the times that works for you to study. Maybe you are good, maybe you can study best at dawn or in the afternoons. Know yourself, okay? So that if you don't follow somebody, you go and follow someone who is very good at studying in the night. Maybe you are good at studying in the afternoon. You get distracted, okay? So know yourselves and don't follow anyone just because the person is your friend. You are friends, but then you go home you go to different homes at the end of the day. So your goals should be specific and significant. So again, like I said, like the short-term goal, which is to finish going over all that has been taught so far before the midterm. You need to do that, and that can be a specific goal for you. It should be measurable. How do you measure that? So if when your midterm results are released, if you've been able to go over all that you had to study and you actually understood, then definitely your results should be good, right? But if not, that means you have to sit up. It should be attainable. So know yourself and know what you can achieve. I had a friend in a university who used to say that he knows he's a second-class upper student. So he will put in his best. If he should get a first class, praise God. But if he gets anything below that, he knows he didn't do his best. So know who you are, okay? And know that if you are setting a goal, it should be something that is not beyond you. It should be realistic, okay? Not something out of this world, but something that you know that you can actually achieve. And it should be time-bound. So you have 4 years to complete. If you are having a long-term goal and you have short terms and medium terms, you need to be checking. First semester, what was my CWA? Second semester, what did I get? All of that. So you are checking. I don't know the kind of entertainments you have here on campus, in Obuasi campus. Do you have any programs organized for you aside going for lectures and other stuff? You don't? So, studies throughout. Wow, the people are sharks. Anyway, maybe as the semester progresses, there will be programs for you, because sometimes you need to relax. It's not just only about studies. Okay, so you might just, maybe they might organize a program just for you to go and dance, have fun and come back to your books. Okay, so when such opportunities comes, please take advantage. Don't be afraid to go put your books away for some few, hours and go and chill and come back. Okay, so be an all-round student and not just about the books, because when you leave here, you are going to be living with people, you'll be working with people. So know how to interact with people as you stay here. Have a to-do list. It's similar to having a schedule for yourselves, okay? And again, I said know yourself academically. Know your strengths and your weaknesses. And then some people will say that they are very good studying by themselves. Others too want to belong to a group because maybe when a colleague explains things, they get it better. So know who you are. If you like both, then it means that you have to make time for your private studies and then you make time for your group studies, okay? And if you don't go to class, it means that you are already lost. You are here to get a degree. It's very important that you go to class. Some of you might struggle, especially in the first few weeks. But ensure, if you are struggling with that, get a colleague, someone in your class who is able to go for lectures on a daily basis. Let the person come and call you so that you can go with the person. If you think that coming for lectures from wherever you are is difficult for you to do. Otherwise, because most of the times, most of the lecturers, most of the things you hear in the lecture rooms, if a friend is to repeat, the person might add something to it or may take something out. So it's best that you are in class to hear for yourself. Okay, and also stay focused. Okay, some of you eventually will have to make friends, maybe date people and all of that, but never forget that your main aim here is to attain a degree. So don't lose guard. Eat and sleep well. I know most students, especially when exams is near, forget to eat, forget to sleep, which is very dangerous for you. Okay, because your body needs the nutrients that you get from the food you eat. That's why I said that it is very important that you prepare your own food and carry along. If you want to go and buy, make sure that it's healthy enough. We've had some students admitted in the hospital because they went to buy some food and they had food poisoning. Okay, so sometimes it's best, I know sometimes you might not have the time to do that, but then as much as you can, cook your own food. And sleep. Sleep is very, very important because it helps your memory to form. Why do you think sometimes when you go to bed and you sleep, you start dreaming of things that happened during the day? Because memory is being formed when you are asleep. So if you study throughout the night and you do not sleep, it means that memory doesn't get to form. So you study, but then what needs to stay in the mind doesn't stay. Okay? And you need at least, at most, 8 hours of sleep every night. So if you are doing 4 hours, beware. If you are doing 6 hours, please be careful. Okay? It's very important. You can perhaps say that you are in school and so you need to dedicate more time to studies. But then, if you continue like that, after a while, you may struggle remembering things. Okay, so sleep is very, very important. Maybe some other time, Mr. Operi or some of us might organize something on sleep alone for you. Okay, social life. You have told me already that it's only lectures so far, so you don't have any social life. But do you have friends? Have you made new friends? Like at least you can visit, you can talk to. When you are stressed, who do you talk to? When you are tired from lectures, what do you do? Do you go and sleep or do you play games? What do you do? What do you do? You sleep. Pardon? You play games. Oh, okay, PlayStation. Oh, football. Or what game? The PlayStation. Okay. And the ladies, what do you do? Ladies, what do you do? When you are tired from lectures, when you are stressed and you want to relax, what do you do? TikTok. Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad, or it is bad. It's not bad. Okay, but what do you do? You sleep. Okay, that's also good. Yeah. So it's very important that you try and socialize. Okay, you are not only, there are 4 aspects of life, okay, shall I say. In psychology, we usually say that we have the biological aspect, the psychological aspect, the social, and then the spiritual. Okay, so these 4 you need to develop as you are here. Okay, so make sure that you socialize. It will help you to release stress, and also, it can also help you to have a very good self-esteem. Yeah, like I was saying, getting involved with others can actually help you to develop your self-esteem, okay, and also help you in your academic pursuits. Because then you know that you have some kind of support from your friends. Even talking to your family when you are down can also help you a lot. So as you are here and you are struggling to adjust, the counseling center is there to provide some support for you. If you can't talk to your counselor, you have peer counselors. Do you know them? You do not know them. Okay, please, MC. Do you see this nice or fine gentleman? Yeah. And there are others at the back wearing the cloth. Yeah. They are also students. Okay, they are students, and please, you can sit down. Thank you. They are students, and they have also been through what you are going through, and they are still going through them. So they know what it is you have faced with, and they can support you. Okay, so when they come visiting you, please listen to them. Give them some 10 minutes of your time. Open up. You may never tell what kind of support they can give you. Okay, so don't keep everything to yourselves. Get involved. Talk to somebody. Go out. Go for a walk. And as much as possible, stay on campus. Stay on campus. Some of you might want to go home every weekend to go and see your parents, or maybe to visit your boyfriends and girlfriends, but stay here. It's very important because it will help you to develop that independence. Okay? So, and if you must go home or somewhere, at least let somebody know. In case something happens to you out there, we can trace and get to, give you some support if we can. And if you must party, not party hard, but then party smart, okay? Make sure that if you are drinking alcohol, I don't know what's in Ghana, how old are you? When are you supposed, is it legal for someone to start taking alcohol? It's 21? 18? Oh, okay. All right. So if you are not yet 18, please, it's illegal to drink alcohol. So if a friend invites you to a party and you know that you are 16, 15, 17 and a half, don't go drinking any alcohol. Okay? But if you must drink, please, don't overdo it. Moderation is key. And then also make sure that if you are stepping out, maybe going to the club or something, let somebody know. We've had some students go out without telling people, and then something happens and we have to struggle to find them. Okay, so at least it's your life. But then if you are going out, let somebody know that you are going to this place And be careful. Take good care of yourselves when you go out there. And then practice good stress management. I asked you, what do you do when you are stressed? Some said they sleep, others said they play game and other stuff. Okay? If you do not know how to manage your stress, please go and see your counselor. Every individual has got their unique ways of dealing with stress. Okay? So maybe how I handle my stress will be different from the way you handle yours. So I cannot teach you. But if you go and see the counselor, will help you, or he will help you to explore ways you can cope with your own stress. Yeah. Okay, so who here, okay, please forgive me, I won't ask that question. But I know some of you have got boyfriends and girlfriends already. Yeah? Okay. Mr. Rabbi, we're talking more about relationships, so I won't even go into details. But then, these things are also part of life. Your roommates, you have to develop a relationship with the person or people. You would meet your classmates or your program mates, you have to develop that kind of relationship with them. And aside that, some of you will end up, befriending other people and then dating and all of that. Okay? Know yourselves. Know what you want in any relationship, especially the ladies. If you are going in for a boyfriend, what do you want in a man? And not just go in for any person who comes your way, because friends are going in for somebody. Okay? And if you know that will distract you, kindly stay away from that for the next 4 years until you are done with your program. But if you think you can manage it well too, why not? Okay? Is anyone here at Archbishop Hostel? Is it Archbishop Hostel? Okay. I think I was there for the orientation, and I mentioned that you and your roommates, because you are from different backgrounds, you need to sit down and discuss some rules for the rooms. For men, maybe it might not be a problem, but still, it's not bad if you do that. You don't bring in your girlfriends whilst your roommates are there and then they're uncomfortable and all of that. So discuss rules to govern you in the rooms so that you don't make somebody else uncomfortable, because you've all paid the same amount. Okay, so if you are bringing in visitors and your roommate is taking a shower, that might not really work for the person, okay? So at least be sensitive to some of these things and discuss. If you haven't done that already, please do that to avoid fights and quarrels and all of that, okay? Is that all? Wow, that was fast. Okay, so basically what I'm trying to say is that the university is different from the junior or senior high school, okay? Here you are supposed to develop as an independent person. And it's an opportunity for you to get to know who you are, your values as a person, okay? And so make good use of all the time you have. Make sure that you manage your time really well, okay? And then also make sure that you don't forget the main reason for coming here, which is to get a degree. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much. We can do better. We can do better. All right. So, well, personally, I've taken a lot from Ms. Joan. I would like to share some few of what I've taken. All right. So I believe you have business students here. All right. So she spoke about the SMART goals. Okay. You should be expecting this in introduction to HRM. You would be learning this, and says that you should be specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound. When you live by this, trust me, you have a very good stay on campus. All right, I also said go to class stay focused, eat well, sleep well, socialize, and network. All right, so socialization is very important, okay? Socialize, because you don't know who would take you to the next level. So you should socialize, get to know the person, let the person know you, all right? Don't just know the person, but let the person know you. Introduce yourself, let the person introduce him or herself to you. All right, so without much ado, I would like to take the next presentation, and the person going to take us for becoming a grade A student is no other person than our own counselor, Mr. Stephen Ofoyi. Let's give him a round of applause.
Thank you very much. I think one of your dreams for joining the best university in Ghana is to get grade A in the programs we have registered for this semester and the subsequent semesters. 2 of us. Oh, let me hear you. Why? Oh, are you hungry? Okay. I want to interact with you, so what you are going to do now is just to become how you can become a grade A student. So at the moment you are getting grade A in all the courses, it means you are becoming, or you will get what we call first class. You become a first class student. Okay. So how do you become grade A student? How do you become grade A student? That's what we are going to find out throughout this presentation. So let's go through the objectives for this session. So at the end of this session, I expect you at least to find out how to set goals for yourself, develop a good note-taking and study skills, and then learn about test-taking skills, and the last one is learn skills to manage examination anxiety. So if you're able to do this, then gradually you are becoming a grade A student. Let's see. Madam John has said a lot about SHS, academic life or education, and then university. So you see there, what can you see there? This is the SHS, what you learned before coming here. So you come to the university, you see that the volume is so huge. Have you seen the comparison now? So we expect much from you. There's no need to joke. So you see that you're most likely not to be able to cover everything. Therefore, you need to plan. And then we want to go through the plan, how you plan your studies so that you become a grade A student. So that is that. I think John has said a lot about this. Goal setting, goal setting. So the first thing you need to do is that you need to know yourself. Know yourself. Know who you are. Know your abilities. Know your strengths. Know your weaknesses. Know what you can do at a particular time. So you have a plan, you set a goal, long term, short term, or short term, medium, and the long term. John has said a lot about that, so that one, I'm not going to repeat that. The same thing, just have a plan, set a goal, and the goal could be long, medium, or it should be short, medium, and then long, okay? So that is that. So let's move on to the next thing I want to talk about. Let's see the nature of memory. So before you can become a grade A student, you need to know this. And then I think this one will help you. So we have said that memory is the retention of information or experience over a time through 3 phases. So we have 3 phases of memory. One, we have what we call encoding phase, and we have storage phase, and the retrieval phase. So the encoding phase, you are talking about the initial learning of the information. That's the point you are learning. You are taking in the information. And then storage, that's where you maintain the information over a time. And the retrieval stage or phase, you are talking about when you need the information. Will the information come back to you? So these are the three phases of the memory. And then you go through the cycle, and then you know how it is. So this is how the information processing model I just highlighted earlier. So you're talking about the stimulus here. That's the information you pick. You are learning from classroom. It is mathematics. What information are you picking? That's the stimulus. Then it goes through this process. You go to the sensory memory, and then below that you have forgetting. So if you don't pay attention, then it just go out there. Have you seen the arrow, where the arrow is pointing to? They just go out. It means you will never, if you need that information, you can never get it back. So therefore, in the classroom or lecture room, you need to be very. So in the way to short-term memory, we have two things there: attention and then forgetting. It's very important. So if you don't pay attention, then you just forget it easily. Do you agree with me? Yeah. So the same process there. And then moving to the long-term memory, we have the same thing then. So when it goes to the long-term memory, you can retrieve it. That's where you save the information permanently. So anytime you need it, then you just go there. But there are certain things you need to do so that this information will store where? The long-term and the short-term memory. Okay. Let's see. Forgetting. How quickly do we forget things? And then studies have been found out that forgetting occurs mostly rapidly, immediately after our learning. We easily forget what we learn if you don't pay attention. Is that all true? What's the cause? We will come to that. But the same study has also shown that relearning takes less time than the initial learning time. So what you have learned, and you have forgotten it, you want to learn it again, it takes less time than that. So what do you do? So always when you forget something, you need to keep on learning. You do what we call constant rehearsal or practice. That one will help you to retain whatever you learn at the lecture room and then your various hostels. So it is important to pay attention to this. It will help us to know all these things. So let's move on to see what we have. So we have attention and concentration in class. It's important in helping you remember. I've said that. Pay attention in class. Concentration. Concentrate on what the lecturer is presenting. Or at a group study level, you need to pay attention. Concentrate well. It's very important. How we study or process material is another important thing we need to know or take note of. We remember the earliest and the latest things and things. So whatever we learn earlier and the latest things. So this is talking about a constant rehearsal, constant practice. So you need to read over and over so that the material can be retained well. So anytime you need it, then you can go back and retrieve it there. It's a very simple thing there. Therefore, read over your notes. I've said that. It's very important. So the more you read, constant practice, constant rehearsal, constant engagement with your friends, TAs, and other significant others, it will help you to retain the material very well. Let's talk about study skills. Study skills. The first step starts from the lecture room. That's the first step. So at the lecture room, pay attention. Avoid any form of distraction. Any form of distraction is very important. So you are there to learn. It's not that lecture room you are going to figure it with your phones. Some of you don't pay attention while the lecture is delivering, then you play with your phones. You do other things. You go to your social media platforms, and then you'll be communicating with others while the lecture is going on. If you continue to do this, it will affect you. It means you're not paying attention. That's why most of you struggle during the examination to retrieve whatever the lecturer has taught you during the lecture. So pay attention. The key here is paying attention and then concentrate on the work there. Then, apart from paying attention, we have something called taking good notes and then active listening. So all these things come together and it will help you to become a grade A student. You take notes. You go into it. This is how we can take notes, yeah. So before class begins, these are the note-taking skills we are taking. Before the class begins, review the notes taken during the lecture period. It's very important. All materials should be ready to take notes. Your pencil, your notebook, the laptop, whatever you need to make notes during the during the lecture hall should be ready. This must be done before the lecture. This before. So then during, what do you do? During, please move on to the next slide. No, go back. No. Always listen for key words. See, the lecturers, when they are presenting their lectures, there are some key words they highlight. You need to pay attention to them. They are very important. They signal some of the things they will set questions on. So you need to pay attention. The lecturer will say that, oh, remember, it is important to note that, take note of this. The lecturer will keep on emphasizing some of these expressions, giving these expressions to you. Or take note of this. Remember this. It is important to note. So these are the key words during the lecture room. You take note when the lecture is delivering. Whilst you are making notes there, write down everything the lecturer says or writes. Write it down. It is important. The questions may come from such things the lecturer will be writing down or highlighting during the exam. Make notes of questions you want to ask the lecturer. It's very important. So all these things, when the lecture is going on, you should do that. And after the class, what do? You go back to your notes and then rewrite the notes, review it, add additional information or information you need, and then discuss some of the things you didn't get them right with your colleagues. This could be done with your study group mates, or you can even see the lecturer himself or herself, or you can even contact the TAs, and then they will help you to understand all these things. How do you make notes during lecture? So we want to highlight some few techniques there. You have what they call mind maps. You have outline and you have corner. These are the strategies you can use. So there are examples there. They will guide you how to do it. This is the mind map concept. Look at it. So just like a map, you use a map to represent ideas there. So you have photosynthesis at the center. Look what is around that. So during lecture, you can use this strategy or technique to also to help you to make down notes. Lecturers will be giving you slides, but it's important that you make your own notes. That will help you to understand the whole thing better. Okay, so that one is good. So let's move on to the outline. There is the outline there. You have the major points there. You have the supporting sentences. They are there. So you see how it is done. The major points are there. A, B, C, and then you have supporting sentences. They are there. This is how, so you pick the topic, you write the main thing, then the subtopics or sub-ideas will also come there. So this is an example how you can use an outline technique to make notes during lecture. Or the last one we want to talk about is the corner here, note-taking strategy here. So it's just like the whole thing, a table, and then we have Q column, where you write the summary, and then where you write the points there. So you draw the table like this and use it to make notes All these things will help you to understand and then also make your own notes. So when you are making reference to them, you are studying, it becomes so easier for you to learn them, okay? The lecturer has prepared his notes in a different format, but you have to choose a format that will help you. Remember, we said that you should know yourself, who you are, know your strengths, know your abilities, know your weaknesses. So if you adopt some of these strategies, it will help you and then to make good notes, and that will also help you to become a grade A student there. Okay, then active studying. How do you study actively? It's very important. So we are saying that you take all the materials you need. That will help you to understand the whole thing there. And then you do what we call hands-on learning. You do it by participating. You take part in it, either at the group level or during the lecture or large class. Make sure you take part in that. Set up a study group. John has highlighted that one already. Get a study group. So I'll be surprised at this time if none of you has a study group. Then I'll advise you that right from here, even from here, you start joining the group there. It will help you. And then in forming the group, you make sure that you get your colleagues who are very good at various subject areas. Get somebody who is very good at mathematics, somebody who is good at science or engineering or whatever. So when it comes to that particular subject, the person will lead the discussion, and it will benefit all of you. For example, if all of you are weak in mathematics, and you form one group, when it comes to math issue, who will handle the math concept? So that is very important. And then, okay, see your subject, engage in seminars and get to know the staff. And then make active note there. So seminars like this, it will also help you. You get to know, familiarize yourself with the techniques and strategies as I'm just presenting there. So you're also moving on to what we call the study strategies, learning strategies. It's very important. One of the things you can use is knowing your peak period and how long you can focus. John highlighted that. Know who you are. During the day, at what point when you learn, you get better concentration? Is it in the morning? Is it in the afternoon, midnight, or dawn? So you need to check all these things. So you need to maximize the period when you learn, you get better concentration. That's all what we are talking about, knowing yourself. And then read at least twice a week for a subject. So it is better. Just after the lecture, you read through your notes. Before the lecture, you also read through the notes before you meet the lecture. Okay, that one is very important. So that's what I've just said. The day of the lecture and then prior to the next lecture, you read that one too. Let's see, we also have what we call active reading strategy, as we have SQ3R. So S, you get a book you want to read. S stands for, this one is an acronym. The S stands for survey. By survey, we are saying that you skim through quickly go through the whole book, especially the content there. Look at what the book contains. It will give you an idea about what the book is about or the note is about. Then you go to the Q column, you have questions. You begin to ask yourself questions. What you hope to achieve. What you hope to get. And then the arrow there they are free. So the first arrow represents read. So after you have done all these things, then you read for the answers to the questions you set for yourself. And then the second arrow also represents recite. You consider what you have learned, just to help you to remember that. You keep on repeating it, recite, and then recall. You keep on repeating what you have learned. So this is one strategy you can also use to help you to read very fast. You get a book, you just scan through it, you set some questions for yourself, you read, you recite, and then what? You recall. It's very important. You can also use mnemonics. And one of the examples of mnemonics is acronyms. By acronyms, we are talking about taking the initials of the various words and then you put them together to form a new word. That's an acronym. Okay? There's a difference between acronym and an abbreviation. I think you know that. Abbreviation is shortening a longer word to make it short. For example, we say professor and then you say prof. Microphone, you say mic. That one is abbreviated for doctor. Then you say DR. Then so that one is abbreviated for. But when we are talking about acronyms, taking the initials of the various words and you put them together, like Knust. So you have Kwame Nkrumah, University of Science and World Technology. For Kwame, we take K there. Nkrumah, you take N in that order. So that is acronym. So you can also use that one to help you to learn. It's one of the learning or study strategies. And I have one example here. We have a topic called money. So qualities of money, those who are doing business, economics, and those things, this topic is there. So you can use this acronym called SHARP, D square, to represent all the qualities of what? Money. So when you take the S in the SHARP, the S stands for what? Scarcity, as we have in that order. So those economics experts will tell you that whatever we use as money should be scarce. It should be scarce. So scarcity. And then the H there is also representing homogeneity. They should have similar features, the same thing, look alike. And then we have acceptability, A. So whatever you use as a money should be accepted by the buyer and then the receiver. And then the R there, we are talking about recognizability. So it should be easily recognized by everybody. So when money is there, everybody, even by a child, even a child can identify this is the money. Okay, so you go to the P, you have portability, easily carried along. You can take it along. So we can use stone as money, okay? So that's why we change the barter system. So then the first D, so there we have D squared. So we have the first D here, durability, it should last long. And the final D is divisibility. You can divide it into smaller units. So if you have 10 CDs note, you should be able to get maybe one CD, 5 CDs, 2 CDs there. So you see that when I'm writing exams and I get a question on the qualities of money, I just write sharp D square there. And then within a shortest possible time, I'll just finish that one. Okay. So you can also devise your own strategy. Then it will help you. And then you master it well so that you can easily. So let's go to some tips, how to study. Have your tools handy. We've said this one. Use one of the strategies discussed earlier. The strategies we have discussed earlier, including mnemonics and other things. And then take a break. So you can use 50-10-50 rule. You study for 50 minutes, you break for 10 minutes, you walk around, and then you come back and then continue. Okay? You don't need to sit down. So 15 minutes, break for 10 minutes, you walk around, you can have a chat with some group, and then you walk around, then you come back, and then you continue. This also will help you there. So you'll continue with additional tips there. So where to study is very important. Studies have shown that when you continue to study at a particular place for a long time, it helps you to get a better concentration. One particular place. Even at a church. A church. The person becomes so confused. Because the person has become, familiar with that particular seat. You get the point I'm making? So these studies have shown that. So get a place, advisably, a permanent place, okay? You study all the time. It will help you. And then that one. And then that place should also be devoid of all distraction. Avoid window views. You are there. But your mind is just searching elsewhere. You are looking at windows, whoever is passing, just a second. That one distraction, it will affect you. When a young girl is just passing, you're a boy, and they say, hey, look at the girl, hey, with your hips, so, you see, all these things will go a long way to distract you. You do that, okay? Oh, I'm talking to the men. Okay. And then you need to get good light there. And then you know, so to get ventilation, fresh air. You see, TV, phone, all these things should be off. You need to get, for you to get a better concentration. I don't know, music. If you're a type, you can learn with music, you do that. If you are not such a type, do away with music and get a full concentration. That's why we say that know yourself. Know what works for you. Okay? And then you apply that. When to study? This one, you are saying that when you are most alert, but don't forget about your peak period we discussed earlier. Know the best time you can learn. Okay, that one is there. Let's move on to test-taking skills. So all these things we are discussing will just help you to become a grade A student. So some skills before preparation. On 26th of this month, you'll be writing your first test, midterm exams. What are some of the skills you need to know? One, prepare well in advance. So I'm surprised if some of you have not started. If you are still waiting till 1 week or 3 days to that, and you'll be disappointed. So you need to start now. So the preparation starts now. Space learning is better. You don't wait, as I said. Before 2 minutes, one day, and then you go and hide a place. You want to learn everything, it will not work. The brain is just like the computer CPU there. When you input something and it has not finished processing, and you give another command, it will not go. You see the whole thing there. So if you want to capture everything within the shortest possible time, you will get disappointed during the examination. So that's why we advise you that the preparation should start now. I know some of you have started already. We need to continue on that. Know the schedule for the tests, and then note about any changes about the venue and the time. At times, they will just give you are expected to write these exams at this period, at this venue, and then they will bring a change in that. You need to know all these things, so you need to be alert. You need to, always visit your platforms, your classroom platforms and those things there, to know all these things. Okay? Here, when we put a notice, we don't announce it like the senior high school. Senior house master is not here, will come to you, or form master will not announce those things to you, or the headmaster will not come to the assembly ground and then make an announcement. You have a freedom, but the freedom comes with expectation and a responsibility. So you need to manage your things. You need to check all this. Take all the materials you need, and then eat well and get enough rest. Eat well. John highlighted that one too. Eat well is very important. You get energy. And some of you don't sleep at all. Though this place is a mining area, but some of you have become more professional miners than so you stay throughout the night. Okay? That one doesn't help. You need to. Okay. In examination, it is advisable that you read instructions carefully. Some of you don't read the instructions, you start, you give go. Within 10 minutes, they finish everything. That will not help you. Read the instruction. Scan the test quickly to find out how much time you can spend on each session or question. It's very important. So that will help you to plan ahead. Which question to tackle first? Maybe this time, this question, you need about 40 minutes or 10 minutes to answer that one. That one will help you. And then answer the easy questions first. before the difficult ones. Some of you, you say, oh, for this one is very easy. Therefore, let me tackle the difficult ones. Before you realize, then the time is almost up. So answer the easiest one first. That's what you can answer, and then you need to impress the examiner. Okay? So you use the remaining. Think as you read. It's important. And be sure you understand what is being asked of you, what the question demands from you, so that you will not deviate from the answer. Remember to go over your work when you finish. That one is very important. Go over. When you have more time, go over. Don't be in the hurry to submit what? Your work. It will not earn you additional marks. Okay, so go through that. Know the ground rules. Just like the instructions there. Know that. It's very important. Will you be penalized for guessing? Some of the question examiners, they will just say the question and say that if you guess and you get it wrong, some marks will be deducted. So know that, especially true false questions. Some of the lecturers will tell you. So know all this before you make an attempt to answer the question. If guessing is okay, then make sure to answer all questions, especially when you are dealing with multiple choice questions. Answer all the questions. Don't leave any question unanswered. It's very important. Because if you leave it without answering it, automatically you are wrong. But if you answer it, there's possibility that you'll get it. Because you have alternatives there. A, B, C. If it's not A, it could be B, it could be C or D. If it's not true, it could be what? False. So why are you leaving it unanswered? So make sure you do that. By in doing this, you check the ground rules. Whether when you get it wrong, you'll be penalized or not before you do that. Are the sessions weighted? If so, alter your time accordingly. Talk about this. Time allocation for each. And then the marks. So you see some of the examples there. That will also help you which question you need to start first. For example, when you see a short answer question, one answer will give you 5 marks. So if you're able to write 5, you get a 25 marks. And if you have 25 questions there, and then you know the short answer one, while you are writing only 5 sentences to get 25 marks, then it's better you tackle that one first before you move on to the other areas. So these are some of the things we want you to know as first-year students. So your dream, as I said, for joining the best university in Ghana will become rare or reality. Okay. Let's see the multiple choice. Hints. There are some of the hints that will help you there. You see, underline the key words in the questions. That will help you. Pay attention to all the qualifiers. For example, usually, none, always. They signal something. So when you are reading your questions, pay attention to this. If you can think of one exception to the qualifier in the answer, then you can eliminate that choice. You see that among the choices, among the alternatives, there is one thing which is totally different. It doesn't have any connection to the question. Then you just eliminate that one too. Then if you have 4 options, then it becomes the others 3 there. Then you begin to. All this, when you don't know the answer, then you apply some of these techniques there. It will help you. Read all of the answers carefully before you choose. They may be looking for the best answer. Okay? The best answer. So some of the alternatives are similar, but they want the best from you. So it's up to you to read them carefully. There. Eliminate the choices you know are incorrect. Some of the things you know, as I said already, they are incorrect. Then just take it out. And then leave. And then you get to know the others you don't know. Here you are talking about the educated guessing, where you guess and you will not be penalized. Not the answer you know, those you don't know. Because we don't want you to leave any question unanswered. That's what you need to do. So we have some examples here of the girls is here, educated girls is here. So the question, the example reads, Nana bought a used car for 8,700 Ghana cedis. She made 1,000 down payment and agreed to pay 450 Ghana cedis per month for 22 months. 22 months is missing there, but it's there. Which expression shows the total she will pay for the car? So we want to use educated guesses here. Probably you don't know the answer. Okay, so what do? So you see that, which one will you choose here? If you are making educated guesses. So you can see that the B, 350 cities by 22 months times 1,000. You see that one is automatically out. Can you tell me why it's out? Or you've not gotten it? Are you all mass phobians? Or this is a simple mathematics, so you need to. So you can see that the B and the D, they are out. Okay? Write it down. I'll ask you at the end of the lesson why you think they are out. So to be left with A and what? C. Okay, but when you look at A, that one works there. There is a problem there. We need to correct it. The first letter should be 8,700, but I think there have been changes there. So when you work it out, you get that the A will be the best option. But the A, the figure should be, please, add it there so that you get a better explanation. Move on, please. Okay. So the first, we've cancelled B, we've cancelled D. And I'm saying that the option A, that should be 8,700. There's a wrong, calculation there. So that should be the answer. This is what I was telling you. Then we have another one there. We have said if two choices are very similar, the answer probably neither of them. If you have two alternatives or options, they are similar. Then we are saying that the answer could not be one of them. Okay? Two similar. If two answers are opposite, one of them is probably the correct answer. Okay? See that. Find the sum of 4 negative 6. Two options are opposite. Option A and what? D. So definitely one of them will be what? The answer. So this is what we want you to know there. So you need to apply all these things during. If all of the above is the choice, and two choices are correct, all of the above is most likely the right word answer. See, there's all of the above. And you see that two choices are correct. It means there will fall under this in there. Do you understand the whole thing there? Yeah. So that is that. So all these things are the strategies you want to know. When it comes to true, false, or true or false, watch for absolutes such as always, never, all, and none. If they are, they normally present chances that the statement is what? False. So if you see some of these things, always, never, or none, normally the chances are that that answer is what? False. So take note of these key words. All these things just want to help you to get more A's in your questions. We have matching columns there. So we are saying that read all the items in both columns first. This is the strategy before you select the answer. It will help you. Instead of looking at the one word column first, try to select a match, or to try to select a match. Read the column first with the definitions or explanations. Match those to the one word column. So you read the answer, you'll be looking for the one that matches the answer there. So in short, what we are saying is that all these strategies will help you as a first year student, even as a continuous student who are here, just to help you to move on. Let's move on to essay. Essay. We've said about this one, read the instructions carefully. It's very important. Read through the text and start with the easiest question. That one, I've mentioned it here. So there's no need for you to start with the difficult ones before you come to the lesson. That one will also help you. So these are things we have said already, and I just want to repeat them for the sake of what? Emphasis. Test anxiety. What is it? Some of you worry, even before 26 comes. Some of you have started worrying yourself much. You are thinking excessively whether you perform well or not. Okay? When you do that, it means you become anxious. You have test anxiety. And then you see the man there. He's sweating. Rapid breathing. You see, all these things are there. So if you don't prepare well, and then you go to the examination, this will happen to you. So that's why you don't want these things to happen to you. That's why we've engaged you this afternoon to let you know what you expected to do before you go that. And then test anxiety, it causes extreme nervousness. You become so nervous, become so anxious, tension, memory lapse, and then going blank. Now all these things will happen if you don't put in adequate preparation. So that's why we want you to start now. And then you pass well during the examination to avoid test anxiety. So the sweating will be there. Some of you before the exams, you sweat. Huh? That is the symptom of what? Anxiety. Test anxiety. It's very important. Yeah. How do you reduce test anxiety? You need to space your learning. You need to start now. You don't wait to the last time. If you wait to the last time, you'll be anxious because you have not covered much or enough. That alone will help you to become more anxious for that. Remember, you are to do your best and not necessarily a perfect score. Do not dwell too much on the previous exam. If you do not perform well in the previous exam, just leave that one aside and focus on the present one. It's very important. But if you continue to focus on that, it will distract you. So we are saying that you are not necessarily getting 100%. Even A starts from 70 here. So if you intentionally get 30 marks wrong, you still get A. Still, you still get A. Okay? When you're 70 over 100, you still get A. So what we are saying is that you need to prepare adequately before the exams day. Then, when you are experiencing test anxiety, it's also advisable that you do some moderate exercises. You engage yourself, moderate exercise, few days before the test. That one will also help you. Maybe morning jogging, moderate one. It will help you. Get a good night's sleep before the test. Sleep early. So if you start preparation early, then you will sleep early. The problem is that some of you wait till the last hour. And then when you wait till the last hour, you experience test what? Anxiety. And then it will not help you. Show up to class early so you won't have to worry about being late. You need to be there 30 minutes before time. You need to be there, seated. Okay, so this is the first exam you are going to write. So you need to be there 30 minutes before the paper starts. And you'll be seated, just relax. And then you wait for the paper. And then when you are also, even during the examination or before the exam, you are experiencing test anxiety, you can also take in deep breath. So you do that about 2 or 3 times. That will also help you to control that. We've said this, do the simple questions first to help you build your confidence level. So if you answer the simple questions first, you see your confidence level will be up. That alone will help you to answer the rest. Don't worry about how fast other people or your friends are answering. Some of them, they are like that. They write very fast. When they get the paper, close. Within 30 minutes, they finish everything there. Don't worry about that. Move on your own pace. Know yourself. Know who you are. Don't compare yourself to others. Just concentrate on your own work. And then focus on the question at hand. Don't mind wonder on other things. Don't just, it's examination time. Don't look around looking at other things there. That will not help you. We are about to end the presentation, but you need to take note of 2 Japanese proverbs. I want you to go home with 2 Japanese proverbs. One of them is that when you are thirsty, it is too late to dig a well. The time you are thirsty, that's not the time you are going to dig out a well. What do you think will happen? What do you think will happen? So, if you want to, so it means this one talks about what? Preparation. You need to prepare. The second one also is saying that every time the sun goes down at the sunset, it takes part of your time with it. These are the 2 Japanese proverbs, and they are talking about preparation. You need to start now, advance preparation. So what we are telling you today is that start now. Determined to study with passion. Believe in yourself. You can make it. It's very simple. Others have made it. So you can make it. If you follow these instructions, these strategies, these techniques, you can easily make it. Those who have made first class, your colleagues, they don't have 2 heads. You have 1 head like you. So you can also make it. So to end the presentation, we are saying that, remember, you are as good as any of your mates, although you are what? Different. You are different, but you are good as your roommate, you are good as your course mate. Know that. So know who you are. Find what works best for you. Know yourself. Have a target and a plan. You will go through. At the end of the day, you become a grade A student. Thank you very much for your audience. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Mr. Stephen. Yes, indeed. Find what best works for you by knowing who you are. All right, so I would like to be brief with this. I stated certain things down. I believe you are all writing. If you're not writing, that means you're also very sharp, like some of us sitting here. But then, I would like to share some few things from what just taught us. When it comes to the memory, those who are doing business, you'll be doing psychology. You would go through this, the encoding stage, the storage, and the retrieval. All right? Indeed, you have to plan well. If you don't plan well, you wouldn't succeed here in the school. I'd like us to take the third presentation from our very own Mr. Rabidakun. He's taking us for building a healthy relationship. Let's give him a round of applause as he moves forward. Can do better. You can do better. Can do better. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I can see you are tired. So tired. We finish very soon. We try as much as possible to run through very fast. But before I start, there's something experience I had, and I always want to share to first year students, so that at least after school, you know how to prepare yourself when you're going for an interview, you see, for work. I remember we were three. I don't know which school to you were three who went for an interview, and I was the third person. So the first one entered. So when he entered, you know what happened? After some few minutes, he came back. When he came out, we wanted to find out what really transpired, because his countenance wasn't all that good. His face wasn't arguing well. I think he was bored and he was shivering. So we wanted to find out quickly. So we asked Charlie what went on, what happened in there. And I think he was bored. He didn't want to talk. But in some few minutes, they asked that the second person should what? Come in. And I remember the only thing he said is that, here we don't feel say oh. Then he left. Charlie, no feel say oh, don't feel say oh. So we were wondering what really happened. So he was so bored. You know what happened? When he entered, they asked him his name, his telephone number, and he said 024, you see, 024, mixing letters with what? Numbers. And they lambasted him that you are a graduate, you don't know the difference between an alphabet and numbers. So he was so bored. So the second guy, when he entered, unfortunately, I don't know what happened, they asked him to spell. I don't know whether they suspected. They asked him his name, and he said he's Opoku Joseph. You realize it, Opoku Joseph. So when they asked him to spell Opoku Joseph, he remembered what the first person said. You know, the first person was so bored when he was leaving. He said, here we don't feel say what? Oh. So when they asked his name, he too was just jittery, he was just shaking. He remembered what the first person said. Opoku Joseph. Okay, here we don't feel say oh. So what should I say? So 0P, OP, you see. And he was so confused. And it was as if we didn't prepare. So whilst you are, preparing towards the job market, please don't forget the difference between alphabet and what? Numbers. We're going to look at relationship. Good. I am Rabbi Dako. I prefer to be called Rabbi. Good. Please, let's move on. How to enjoy relationship. If you remember, during our first interaction, we wanted to know how you are engaging with people. And we are maturing, we are growing, and naturally we would want to engage, navigate into people. So let's see how we'll be able to do it and do it very well. Please, I hope you understand. I remember, or I know very well, that most of you, when you were coming, your parents sat you down. That Kofi, Adua, Amma, Yvonne, Nelson, I'm not with you in school. You are there alone. How will you manage your lifestyle, your relationship? So let's look at that. Let's find out these few questions. Teachers, how many of you know the full names of your roommates? Have you found out? Full names. You know, let me see by hand. Good, you are doing well. If you are here and you are not aware, please advise yourself. If you had the opportunity, will you change your roommate? Yes or no? Yes or no? I hear yes, I hear no. Okay, so campus relationship would definitely lead to marriage. True or false? True or false? True or false? Mostly those who say true, it's a conjecture. Who say true, they are into it. They are praying that it will end. Okay, it will be difficult for me to get a boyfriend or girlfriend after school if I do not get one in school. True or false? Last chance, so Charlie, last chance, so must make you grab fast. So they say January rush or final year rush. Okay, then let's proceed. Good. How will you describe the relationship between you and your roommate? You can look at the answers. We are great friends. We get along very well. We don't really get along. It's so bad. We hardly talk or tolerate each other. You can see that all of us are within this category, one or two categories of this. Good. Name top 3 problem or conflict have you and your roommate had? You can. Cleanliness, visitors, he doesn't clean. He doesn't want anybody to touch his or her things. He's OCD. Is blah, blah, blah. Always there are issues. So you could look at the possible answers and you realize that you find yourself in one of these answers. Please, if you can move on. Good. So let's look at relationship. Let's go. So we are saying it is a bond or connection you have with other people. So that bond, that makes you engage people, relate with people. That's what we call relationship. Maslow talked about, when we were in secondary school, you remember economics and management. Maslow, what hierarchy of what needs. There's a portion that says human being naturally would want to be loved, would want to love, would want people to listen to him or her, would want to engage people, would want to talk to people. Naturally, that's how, according to Maslow, nature has made it. So no matter who you are, at least you need to open up. You need to get people. So if you are here and you hardly engage people, advise yourself. And this can be a training platform for you. I always say most people, you see, I was dealing with a client who was 45 years, and he entered, when he entered my office, Rabbi, I am entering here because I have a problem. I take over 18,000 cedis a month. That's what he said, 18,000 cedis a month. And I am here because I am unable to engage people, talk to people. Where I am working, I am about to lose my job. So if you can assist me, why not help me? 18, almost 40-something years, 50 years, unable to talk to people. So if you are here and you are in that category, begin to learn that skills. It's a simple skills, especially when you get to class. You can get to class early, target a spot at the end, at the first seat. When you get there, you can decide to come late, a little late, before the lecture comes. You can just study at the ring. Come and sit there. When you realize that the class have come, you just wake up, good morning, class. Then you sit. Don't request, expect response. And that's what the second day, good morning. You can do that for a week. Then the following week, you can say, good morning, class, how are you? Hey, don't expect response. So by the time you do this gradually, you realize that you have the skills to engage people. Here, if you are here, learn to engage people. Learn to talk to people. So that's what Abraham said. And stage of development, all of us are within the early adulthood. If you realize 20 to 30, 39. Few of us are within the first category, that's late adolescent. But most of us are between late adolescent and early adulthood. And naturally, we would want to have intimate, we want to engage people, to have relationship, we want to be loved. Most of you are between 17 to 25, it's clear. Most of us are within this category. And definitely, you have that sense to engage people. So how are you, or who are you, your roommate and others? Thou shalt know thyself and get to know others. So before you can know others, try as much as possible to know yourself, the I statement. Always try to start from yourself. Begin to move to people through yourself. If you want to even complain, start from yourself. Don't pinpoint it. Don't be asking or shifting blame. Always you would want to assess yourself first. So we are saying know yourself before you try as much as possible to know others. When you do that, you can easily have a fruitful relationship. So let's look at different people. And you should understand that. You say, total in the female video, whilst you are in school, you are meeting a lot of people with different background, different training, different ideologies, how they see things. People see things differently from where you are. And sometimes your background can determine how you even relate with people or how you talk to people. And you should have this understanding. If you have this understanding, it can really help you, because sometimes we easily shift blame. And if you know the root or the source of why the person is doing that, you will have a little understanding for that individual. Personalities, training, background, I've said all, they respect one another and appreciate your difference. Please. Don't say, I didn't have that training, therefore you shouldn't do this. Because you think you were trained in a good home, doesn't mean the person shouldn't act the way he or she is acting. Because something egocentrism, you want everything to center you. You are the boss. Anything you decide is what should happen in the room. No, it's not like that. Open up for others to also come in. Please, I hope you get it. Now, know the rules in the halls and hostel. Sometimes it's also important so that when people are sometimes deviating, you can bring them on track. And you can even do a photocopy and paste it there. And that can guide your actions in the hostel. Yeah, when you are beginning, we are saying set agenda, talk about likes and dislikes. When you meet in the first instance, now you are in your room, you have 4 sex in the room. Sometimes you can talk about likes and dislikes. Charlie, I don't like this thing. tell it this and that. Just let them know. And sometimes you would have to, or you could compromise a little. Yes, we are aware that if the light is on, you can't sleep. That doesn't mean that by 7 the light should go off. Oh, sister, brother. So sometimes you can compromise a little because that is not your personal, your customized room. You are 4, you are 6. So at the times you must also create room for some other people. Please, I hope you understand. So you just have to talk about likes and dislikes. And when issues happen, please talk about it. Don't hold it on. Agree on choice. Charlie, you can make a roster this week. I'll do the sweeping. Don't forget, anytime you are starting something, it is better or it's prudent to start from yourself. This week, I want us to set some rules. You start sweeping. The following day, no. I'll sweep next semester. Hey, ma, sir, or madam. You can start from yourself. This week, I would want to start. Set an example. Then when you set an example, you realize that others will follow suit. And that will really help. Please, let's move on. Yes, be ready to compromise. I've said that. And be realistic about the relationship. Don't expect to be the other's best friend or companion. Always don't force yourself on others. Just be who you are. Be natural. Just move. Just flow as we. Hey, here, don't pretend, madam. Master, don't pretend. If you don't have, you don't have. There's no way we're going to say my father, my cousin is despite. I have everything. I am the boss. I am this and that. I have iPhone 4, iPhone what? 19. No, you see. I have 19. You say a lot of things just to make yourself good. Yeah, just be natural. I engaged a lady the last time. She spoke like 1 minute, and I just asked myself, is it Tree or English? But the lady was speaking Tree, and the way she was opening her mouth to speak the Tree, it is Brofo Tree. I was unable to understand. So just be who you are. Actually, when they meet you, I want shawarma and those things. When they don't prepare every day shawarma, every day fried rice. You see the kind of food they are eating, top class. Sometimes they want to appear. They want people to see that they are from rich home, or they want to appear good in the sight of others. Go to them, their rooms secretly. They eat anwamo, anwamo, anointed rice, braised rice, anwamo. And when they are eating, they don't sit on a chair. They sit on the floor and they open their legs and they eat from their patoria, sometimes patoria. But when they see you, their colleagues, they want to appear good. Charlie, be natural. You get it? Be who you are. Just flow easily. Good. Don't put pressure on yourself. As roommates, we are saying be respectful and courteous. So important. I always say most people are who they are today. They are influential and affluent today, not because of their certificate or the school they attended, but because of the friends they had when they were in school. You get it? The friends they picked, the friends they navigated into, the society they found themselves in. And I've made who they are today. I sat in a taxi driver's car the last time. You know what he told me? He told me he's driving in this car because of a friend he had in senior high school. The friend bought the car for him free of charge. Friendship can open doors for you. You understand when you complete school. So please, here, open up. Some of us will intentionally build walls around us. And we wouldn't want anybody to bulldoze through that wall. If you are that, break those walls down. Open up and get more friends. And got that social, what do you call it? Rich. If you are rich socially, it's so important. It helps. So please, we are saying be courteous, respect people. The issue of visitors, I like the way you are making me run fast. I like that. The issue of visitors, we are saying that, yes, you are, since we are trying to let you engage, you try to have relationship outside your roommate, and they would want to come and visit. Please let your roommate come and visit, but let them know the time they will exit. Make sure their visit wouldn't infringe on the rights of your other roommates. Please, I hope you understand. Yes, and I'm on top bed, and a lady has come to visit me. Definitely, she can't climb my bed and sit there. She would have to use sometimes the lower bed. And when you come and my girlfriend or my boyfriend is sitting on the bed, sometimes be a little considerate. You get it, just. But you two should be always. Sometimes they'll come and you are sleeping. No, it's not that. Allow, at least give some respect to your roommates, visitors, and please, you must also know that the lady or the guy coming in every now and then can infringe on the right of others. Always, sometimes think about the others. Think about your colleagues. These actions I'm doing, if someone do same to me, will I be happy? Please, let's look at that. Overstaying and odd hours for guests are not countenance. It's no good at all. Please, let's stop that. By 7, maybe the person must go. 7, the lady is there. 8, 9, 10, 11. Hey, madam, are you sleeping over? It's not allowed. So please, you should also know that by at least by 7:38, I have to leave because the other colleagues would have to take their shower. I hope you understand. I think Auntie John talked about that. Please. Conflict resolution. Please, when conflict can talk about it. That's all. When you realize that your friend is giving you attitude, don't retaliate by giving the same, doing same. Talk about issues. Just talk. There's nothing important in fighting. No, there's no need. Give him a good countenance. If the friend gives you good countenance, accept and do same. If you realize that his attitude, his mood has changed, at least talk about the issue. Is something? Have I done something wrong? Is something do you want us to discuss? Is something that you can find out? Do you have something you would want us to discuss? Or I have something I would want us to discuss. It appears that in the past 2 weeks, we've not been on well. What is happening? Have I done something wrong? Just bring issues up. Don't keep them. Sometimes the way you see things might be different from the way he or she sees things. So please, we are trying to find time to solve grievances and displeasures. What channel do you use? How do we build positive? Please, let's move on. And it should be respectful. Good. Keep communication lines open. Talk about issues every now and then. When you realize that things are changing, there are times you enter into your room and realize there's tension. It appears that no one is talking to each other. Please talk about it. What is happening here? We are 4. DNA. So let's be friends and move on. So if I've done anything wrong, and please learn to say I'm sorry. It's so important. One of the most problem for we Africans is that we are unable to say sorry, especially the guys. We are unable to say sorry. Please learn to say sorry. When you say sorry, it makes you honorable. It makes you honorable. If you eat up your words, fantastic. It makes you an honorable person. Good. Let's move on. You express how you truly feel about it. I think I've said, your roommate is not a mind reader. Look at that. He can't read your mind. So sometimes when you show an attitude, don't think that he knows what you are thinking. Not at all. Don't assume or she knows what you are thinking or how you feel. No, not that. Some of them, they are oblivious of all this. They don't see it. You are not happy he used your plate. You are not talking. You frown your face. You give him a strong attitude, a strong countenance. He is not seeing that. That's where he will even continue to eat your food. So if you don't talk about it, you will continuously be in pain. Please, I hope you understand. Because we talk about issues. Please, let's move on. Yes, be assertive and stand up for yourself. Please, be assertive. Your no should be your no. Please, I don't like what you are doing. Say it a nice way. You don't talk and they are always no stamping on you to do everything, anything they want to do. Please, if you think what they are saying is what they are doing is not good, please talk things out. Let them know. Avoid taking issues too personal. Avoid being judgmental. And here you see, you are meeting diverse people. Sometimes they would want to tease you. They would want to play with you. And always you make your face straight. No, sometimes calm down. Give a good face. Calm down. After all, relax. Some of you from lecture hall to your hall, lecture hall to your, how do you call it, your hostels, lecture hall hostels. Because when you were coming, mommy told you that university guys are bad, university ladies are bad. So from lecture hall straight hostel, if somebody called you, don't look left or right, madam. No. They are good ones here. They are good ones here. They are potential good husbands and potential good wives here. Yes. It's a matter of you open your eyes. Tell somebody, open your eyes. Avoid the I statement. Instead of you to say I, said avoid the you statement, but always start with I, the you statement. You are the problem in this place. You don't greet me. When you see me, don't greet me. But do you greet? See, when you see why is that nowadays you don't greet me. No, don't say that. Get it? So you can just go on. I feel my feelings are not well. I think let's discuss something. Good. Please, let's move on. Listen very well. To listen means not just to hear the words. There's difference between listening and hearing. Hearing is just listen to sound, what people are saying. But listening, there's some cognitive activities in there. When you listen, you don't only hear the words emanating from the mouth of the person, but rather the emotions. There are some emotions. So you look at the emotions that are attached to the words. So there are times, if you listen very well, you'll be able to do a lot of interventions in people's life. There are a lot of times issues will crop up. Somebody will kill him or herself. And when you want to investigate, find out what really caused that, you see the roommate or someone close to that person will say, Intina Oka say, that is why he said this. You see, at that time, you weren't listening. So please, when you are with a roommate or with our friends, let's try as much as possible to listen. When you listen, we can help them. Please, let's move on. Now, let's look at romantic relationship. This is also important. At least anytime you talk about romantic relationships, this is what comes to play. And as I did say initially, some of us, if you open your eyes well, you'll be able to get your husbands and your wives here. And it is not bad. Hello? The way the lady looked at me, I'm suspecting something. Hello? Good. Now let's look at romantic. See, love yourself first. One of the things you should know, love who you are. Most of you, they'll tell you, say, I really don't know who I am. I think it appears I am inadequate. Hey, you are adequate. You have a lot of experience. You are beautiful. You're so handsome. You have it. So sometimes you look into the mirror. You see, the most unfortunate aspect is that we do a lot of comparison. You have a unique trait those individuals do not have. So just love who you are. Love the way you walk. Love the way you talk. Don't try to learn from somebody. Please, I hope you understand. Just love who you are. Sometimes just look into the mirror and tell yourself, Charlie, I'm beautiful. Charlie, I'm so handsome. I like who I am. Good. And prioritize your education over your love experience or your life on campus here, because your main agenda is to go through university education successfully and pass, not relationship. It is an extraneous thing. Please, I hope you understand. So in as much as you would want to engage, don't forget your education, your books, because you need to pass and pass well. Please, I hope you understand. Because we are saying intimacy is not the same as sex. I want to be intimate. And let's have some intimate, and you think it's sex. No, we are saying it's a lie. So don't use intimate as sex. And we are saying intimacy is a process by which we feel truly seen, known, and connected by other partners. So the person knows us very well. He knows our likes and dislikes. You know, he has come closer to you, so he knows barely everything about you, and he's connected to you. That is intimacy, not necessarily having sexual intercourse. So learn to draw the lines. Please. So look at passion. Passion is when you have sexual desire towards someone. And once you are growing, this thing, it will come. It will come. When you see, that's why most of us are tempted to watch pornography and other stuff. And this thing has a lot of negative repercussion on us. By the time we realize we are developing masturbation. So if you are here and you realize that that thing is disturbing you, your counselor is here. Go flood his office, go to his office and seek for help. Because this thing has a lot of implications on us. Research will tell you has what we call erectile dysfunctioning. You have problem with your manhood or your genital organs. So if you are here and you're in that category, it's not a shame. Mostly it affects youth in this category. But research has also shown that most when you marry, it goes. And even though some of them still do that after marriage, most of them are able to stop it. So if you are here and you are facing that challenge, please seek for help. So passion is normally that drags us to that area. You have the desire for sexual intercourse. That is passion. So when the desire is so strong, it's passion. And we are saying similar to an addiction, intensity causes a powerful craving. So you have craving for that. So a time will come, you feel like having sexual engagement. Especially when you watch a movie, they have been kissing. You watch a movie that people are having sex, you realize that I have to do same. I have to duplicate or replicate what I have watched. That is where passion comes up. So this one triggered those movies we watch. Good, let's move on. According to Stenbeck, good. We are saying intimacy. That's where the emotional bit comes in. When the person is crying, you feel it. You feel warmth. When the time you see the person, you are excited. A lady came to my office the last time. He said, there's this guy who said, but he doesn't like the guy. But according to looking at, after probing, I realized that her source of happiness is the guy. So after explaining everything, I said, do you like the guy or no? I said, Rabbi, I love the guy. So, onim the pet, confused. And most of us are in the same soup. We really don't know, is this girl the ideal girl I want? Is this guy the ideal? I'm confused, I don't know what to do. That is why you have a whole counselor there. Engage them. You see, I don't know whether you've come to a point that you are looking for your pen. You are holding the pen, but you are just looking for the pen. I don't know whether you've been in that category before. Your keys are on the top of your pocket, but you are still gallivanting looking for the keys. I don't know whether someone is here, someone has been in that situation before. Sometimes even your phone, you are holding it, but you are still looking for your phone. You see, in the heat of a moment, you forget the resources you have. You don't know, you easily forget what you have. That is why there is a need for you to see a counselor. When you see the counselor, he is able to help you to tell you that, please, I can see that your phone is in your hands. Say, oh, Charlie, thank you. So sometimes you have the resources, but you don't know how to even use the resources. That is why a counselor is also important. Willing to help and share private messages. He always wants to talk. Anything that happens when he comes, he pull it to you. He give it to you. See, that's the emotion bit. That's the intimacy. Please, let's move on. Your commitment has to do with the cognitive thinking aspect. Yeah, sometimes you consciously want to go out with this person. You know that you've gotten to a stage. Some people are in this situation, commitment. You see, they've come to this tertiary and they want their friends to know that they are going out. So they'll try to commit themselves. They consciously do that. Sometimes not necessarily have passion for that, but they just want to be there so that at least when people are talking, they can talk some. Please, let's move on. Are you getting the differences? Please, let's move on. Yes, so the types of love, we have infatuation, that can go passion, desire, and sometimes after, if you're able to exhibit it, do it, when it's what to wine, romantic passion and intimacy. You see, you realize that you have to have that sexual desire for the partner, and also you always want to engage the person. You always want to talk to the person. Compassionate, intimacy and commitment. Talk about empty feeling. Consummate, it has all. So a real love, especially when you get to marriage, realize that's what we call consummate thing. That's how it works. So putting it all together, we are saying Stengberg explains the transition from passionate to compassion. And he says something, the passionate love develops rapidly and intensely, then it will go down. Especially when you see the lady in the first instance. Always you want to talk to the lady. During our times, it was free night call. Charlie, I want to talk. And the night was free from 12 to 6. I hope you remember those days. 12 to 4. How you talk to the lady or the guy, you don't want to stop. Somebody that you have to sleep to go for lectures the following day. Charlie, my friend will be doing call. My friend can talk to the girl. Myself, I did some. And it wasn't easy. Because if you don't talk to the girl, somebody will talk to the girl. So you have to talk to the girl. Passionate love, it develops rapidly. rooms. 100 were in their own rooms. Level 200, 300 will begin to rent a room together. And they leave us, husbands and wife. This is serious. This is damaging. The wife, the lady will go home, prepare food, and put it on the table and put lace on it. The guy collectors will go open it and eat like a husband. And in the evening, they will perform like a husband. And your parents think you are in school. So please be very careful. Be very careful. Practice good communication skills and learn how to communicate. Please let's move on. They are building an enjoyable relationship. We are saying find common interest. Pay attention to each other. So enjoy life. Be happy. So there's something relationship. By the time we get a positive relationship, they say dwell on positive and speak positively. Compliment feeling and say thank you. Sometimes just tell him or her, he or she has done wrong. So that when she does something, smiles to God. Sometimes always strong face, you don't smile. Madam. Right. Sometimes smiles to God. Sometimes reflection to God. So important. Relationship. So important. Okay, then let's say perform once a while. You're not saying buying my phone. Sometimes credits. This is nice. So we are saying random. Intermittently, let's do something for him or her. The lady always, the boy is buying, can't you buy something small? And sometimes small raise reward. It can be 30 cities, 40 cities. Well, I saw this in town, I wanted to give it to you. It's nice. Always be there, you are receiving. Change your mind. Tell your lady it's like that. Change your mind. Laugh and play. There's somebody you can easily play with. Anytime this guy, you are not talking, it's like the extension master. Find different place and go. You have to play, you have to enjoy yourself. Aside a relationship, he's your friend. Turn off phones, and sometimes you must turn off to put the phone. And then distraction there and distract. Have time for yourself. Have life outside the relationship is really important. The girl will call me, the boy will call me. Most of the guys normally do that. You call the lady, where are you? I'm the lecture hall. I just finished my lecture. Are you sure? Yes. Whom are you standing there with? Oh, yes, let me talk to the person. Is the lady in prison? Just allow her some time, allow her some freedom. Pressure on them. Are you sure you are in the room? Let me talk to you, man, if you are there. I don't think you are in the room. Madam, let the guy have some freedom. Please, I hope you understand. At least. Now let's no. You say no. Let's say toxic relationship. It's not good. We are saying it is any relationship between people who don't support each other. There's no support. Where there is conflict, always they are fighting, seek to undermine the other, doesn't respect the other. For somebody in the war, so sometimes when you go and you see them fighting, I think they will never reunion. But they fight together, they are holding hands. Sometimes I can't fight them. And the time they hit themselves, beat them, man, beat them. A lady came to my office and at the time she came, she was holding this big envelope. She said, look at this envelope. The next year I'm going to take. He said, my shoulder being twisted. I told you. And she's not married. The guy hasn't married her. And just subjecting her to pieces. Madam. You want to put any able near the water. Advise yourself. Move. They are emotionally and mentally and physically draining. After engaging, you go home and you are tired. Always not welcome my hustle. You are timid. You can't talk to people. And this lady, this nobody you can't talk to. He has no right to talk to anybody. Her laptop has been confiscated. Her phone has been seized by this guy. She can't control herself. Meanwhile, this guy, you don't pay her fees for her. Please don't let any guy put you in prison. You sex spies watching you, CCTV camera everywhere you pass. People be giving him information. But it's just it. Move. We show you how to move. Please let's move on. Now, since it all take, no give. Now, if you are using the lady who shawarma, be very careful. My wife worked with Golden, one of the hotels in Kumasi, and she said one of the days, a guy asked a lady out at that hotel. Things there are so expensive. Unfortunately, when the lady was coming, the lady came with about 6 or 7 of her Friends. And they all ate. They all ate the food. And the interesting thing is when the man was paying, the man paid his and that of the lady. And when the lady complained, he said, no. I asked only you to come. The man was so assertive and strong. I swear, he said, no, I'm not paying for this other 6, I'm paying for it. But I asked only you to come, not the other ones. I was so strict and disciplined. So he paid another 6. I tell you, they have dressed well, man, but no, not even one city. Oh, right? And they were just standing there. It wasn't easy. And they were security people there, they can't move. So the man left. Oh. So yeah, they had to do a lot of calls, 1 hour, 2, and somebody came to kill them. It's serious. So if you are here, if you're a lady, you invite yourself. I'm hoping that you invite, your boyfriend will invite you and you bring like 4 or 5 of your friends. It's not possible. It's not nice. It's not nice. Sometimes they put a lot of pressure on us. So if you are getting stuff that is not good. Lack of trust, negative energy, and hostile environment. Doesn't trust you, anything you do, he doesn't believe that. Or him, he's just monitoring your steps. Constant judgment and criticisms. And sometimes they do that to make you worthless. Who are you? Baby and Pearl, or baby and Pearl, no one likes you. You are lucky I'm befriending you. What do you have? They'll say all these things to inject fear in you so that you lose your self-worth. Please, if you are in that category, we are saying, find ways to come out. Persistent unreliability and persistent self-betrayal. Sometimes you get up and you cry throughout the whole day. You are not happy. You don't have strength within your bones. The guy makes you cry every now and then. Lack of communication, continual disrespect, insult you, control issues. When he's bored, he hits you. He just waves at you like that. Envy, pretend, dishonesty bring out the worst in you, feelings of unworthiness and lower self-esteem. And you know it. But the fear is that when you detach yourself from him or her, others will talk or probably, who told you? How to get out of toxic relationships? Recognize and step out of the denial acknowledgement. It's not true. This is not a guy. Economy has changed. Okay, yeah, let me give you some time. You will change. You will change. So just recognize that this is happening. It is this person who hates you. But you see, it is relationship. So as and when you begin to move with him, his real character comes out. Because of the pop-ups. Sometimes people will intentionally pretend. So when you keep engaging them, you realize that their true identity will pop out. And sometimes you can gauge them. Look at the way he or she hangs out around with his or her friends. Look at the way they talk. Look at the way they react. That can give you a clear information about who that person is. And you can use that to advise yourself. Keep log of the information. There are times you can get up in the morning and put your life on a sheet of paper. Let's spread your life on a sheet of paper and ask yourself, how have I been feeling since I started working with you? How have I been feeling since I started working with Yvonne? Just find out. You can just write them down. Always you are crying. Always you are disturbed. Like you don't see tall. You are not happy. Please, when you realize that it outweighs the positives, advise yourself. Identify the benefits that are making you stay in it. Fill the holes or alternative for the benefits. Surround yourself with positive people. It's good that almost everybody, surprisingly, have people who can talk to you straight and tell them what you are doing is bad. Sometimes it's good. Engage, hang around with those people, and they will be able to give you realities, things that are really happening in your life. Reward yourself sometimes after the divorce, after telling the person to go, parting ways. Sometimes go get a nice place, spot, get your motor candies, get a nice drink, and enjoy it. And tell yourself, yes, I have done well. I have done well. See, there are times, there are certain things you must let them go. It might be painful. Sometimes when you're even letting it go, and you feel like crying, and let that thing go for posterity. Because small problems can grow to become future giants. People have lost their lives because of toxic relationships. People have died prematurely. People who could be great people, who could be great in future, they have lost their life all because of this. When you realize that you're in that situation and dropping becomes difficult, please try to do that. And if You're supposed to give me pride. Repeat affirmation that I have done well. Allow some respite before jumping into another one. Sometimes you take your time. Break boundaries are always not good. Sometimes after breaking up, you will want to engage in another relationship just to shame, just to pain the others, the other partner. Don't do that thing. Just relax. Get in some air. Get in some breathing space. Get some enough time to relax. Then you can start another one. With that, it can help you. I'm almost ending. We are saying now, look at, we are in a community. You see, always understand that you are not living in isolation. At any point in time, people are watching you. Everything that you do, one way or the other, affects the other. So we are saying, what message, especially in dressing, what message do you want to send across? Especially with your dressing. Why are you putting on that dress? Sometimes ask yourself. It's so important. What is the occasion? What occasion that is warranting this dress? Sometimes you can find out. Be considerate to others around you. When you're taking decisions, when you're doing something, always think about the others, its effect on the other. Don't be so individualistic or egocentric. Don't think about yourself alone. What about the others? In your exposure or nudity, sometimes when you dress bare, they are naked. You are saying, be very careful. Look at the environment. The environment is so important. At the university, I can dress anyhow. No, be decent in your dressing. Do you know whom you will meet? In some telephone etiquette, someone calls you, offer a while. Anyway, the way you see how you talk on phone sometimes can tell others who you are. So we are saying, as a university student, know how to talk on phone. The guy came to I called the guy, when I called him, hello, Cho. I don't know, what is that? When I first time hearing Cho. So I thought it was just a conversation. He proceeded to come to my office and he started with that, Cho. I said, Charlie, you know where you are? I said, I'm used to, sorry. You see, Cho. Everything is like Cho. Yeah, so please be very careful whom you are talking. You know the person you are talking to. I remember I was speaking to a friend and I was calling, I think there was a network problem. So, no, that place wasn't hearing me now. I think that I was hearing. It was network. Then after that, he chuckled. So I called it a different line. So, then he chuckled too. What I called back, I said, please, sorry you said, let me say what? Let me say what, come on, yes sir. Look at that. The new number, so please be very careful, know how to talk. Say, when one relationship ends, I thought about don't do rebounds, keeping multiple partners, for what? Today, one girl, 3 boys, you die before the time, they'll kill you. And the boys too, you see, 4. They might be a yen, 4, Baba, this is how we understand. So please, if you're a guy, if you are going for one, and sometimes, mostly, this category we are in a confusion state. We don't know what we want. So you want to take like 3 or 4 girls, you want to test them to see who is good. You don't do that sometimes. So you can that situation stop. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much. We can do better. Let's give him a round of applause. Wow, very educative and sensational. Well, there's a lot to take in. All right, learn to know when to say no to something. All right, and so we have some of the peer counselors. They are going around to share some evaluation forms with you. Please kindly fill them as you see there. We have the age range, we have the gender, college, department, program, and then there's a question, and then we need your suggestions on certain things as well. Whilst you are filling the forms, I'd like to take the first 3 questions for our 3 guest speakers this afternoon. So if you have a question, you raise your hand and then I'll give you the mic, then you ask your question and proceed. Any question? I guess you are all tired. I know you are tired, but your item 13 is rest assured outside waiting for you. Right after here, you can have them, or you'll be served before you even leave your stool. All right, so any question? All right. Personally, I have a question I wanted to ask. Pardon me to ask my question. My question is, I think it is directed to Mr. Afoyo, our counselor here. My question is, if I am a type of person who studies without having a timetable, okay, and then you asked us to have our timetable, and I'm the type of person who also doesn't like studying, but then waits till the last minute. But you said we shouldn't wait till the last minute. Probably I will study earlier and then I'll forget. So I like to study last minute and then pass and go. What advice would you give me, please?
Thank you very much. The first thing, the timetable is a guide. It's a plan that will help you for compliance. So you don't have anything at all. Then you begin to live the life anyway. Okay? So the timetable is a guide that is supposed to guide you. At this time, I have this subject, I have this course. I need to follow it there. In fact, the question, you need to know yourself first. Yeah, I know that's the angle you are coming from. Yeah, but studies have also shown that majority of students who wait the last hour, they don't pass their exams. Okay. So that's why we are advising that you need to prepare in advance, study ahead of time. So that's the advice I have. I don't know whether my colleagues also have something to add to that.
I think you've said it all, but I would also want to add that ideally students feel that before exam, they have this feel that they don't know, they've learned nothing, they have brain blank, there's nothing in there until they get to the exam room. So always, when you think that, or when you feel that you don't know, you've learned something. You've learned something, so just get in there with confidence and go and write. Again, it's always good to learn every now and then, every day. You just wait, every now and just wait. When you get to the later part, then you put more stress or more energy in there. That will help. If you are stuck that side, then you easily forget. You can just do the normal route. The later part, then you put more energy into it. I think that would really help. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Please, if you have any questions, don't close eye. Okay, you are here to learn. If you have any question that is bothering your mind with regards to your education, your relationship, what have you, please come on and then let's. Okay, I think I have a gentleman back there. All right, so can you start to mention your name, your course, and then.
I'm Patrick from accounting. I want to know, as a kinesthetic learner, are there any tips, strategy to help me learn and learn better? As a kinesthetic learner, are there any tips, strategies to help me learn better? Thank you.
Yeah. Those are the people, they take part. They learn by taking part. Okay. So such a student always need to attend class, lecture all the time. Need to be punctual at all times. Okay. You know, those people learn by participation. They just want to learn. Whatever they will participate, they will never forget. So even a lecturer, if you miss a lecture, it means it will affect you. It means somebody is telling you, you will not get it better like you were there. Okay. So this is the first topic. Always be punctual at class and make sure you take part in whatever lessons that will be here for you. Thank you very much.
All right, so I think your question has been answered, but then if you are that type of person, like an accounting student, you have an accounting question, you put it down, you write it on a board, then you solve it yourself, you talk to yourself, how do I go about this? You are participating as you learn, and you get it so easily with that. I believe most of the accounting students do this. And any question from anyone, dear colleagues? Any question? Are we okay? All right, I think I have one gentleman there.
Good afternoon. My name is Zaid. I think it was said that we should open ourselves up to social relationships. I would like to know how appropriate is it for a student to open up so as not to attract disrespect and some kind of low self-esteem. Thank you.
That's a good question. See, no matter who you are, you get one or two people who will disrespect you in life, who will never acknowledge the things you do. You see, because if you are scared of what people will talk about, you always should be confined in your room. You will not come out. No, what you do is that you engage people, but in your own way, try to respect them. You see, mostly people say respect is reciprocal. People will treat you the way you treat them. So you will consciously decide to treat people very well. Let one or two people mar that relationship, disrespect you. I tell you, others will respect you. And there are times, whilst others are even disrespecting you, see another group will also be fighting for you. So always, it should initiate from you. You should start it. Always try to respect others. Treat people good. And I tell you, they will do same to you. I don't know whether you're getting it. So if you want to be so sharp, intelligent socially, please treat people in a good way, and they will replicate that. Thank you.
Yes, I also want to add that if you know your value, you would not allow people to disrespect you. Okay, so like Mr. Rabbi said, you have to respect them no matter what. But know your value as a person, so that if somebody is disrespecting you, you know you have to distance yourself. Okay, don't wait till a person counts you beyond repairs before you move away. All right.
And then it is also wrong for you to think that everybody will love you or respect you, as the rabbi said. That is a distorted thinking. Okay. If you do that, it's a great problem for you all the time. So think that some people, as Rabbi said, will definitely, no matter what you do, you can't please everybody. Okay. If you have this kind of thinking, it will help you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, I have one hand here. Let me take this, then come to you back. All right.
Okay, so I think I understand that facet. So is there a way, a chat, a person can follow so as not to entangle himself in that kind of atmosphere?
The question again. The question again. Please.
As Auntie said, there's no way you can really interact with people that there wouldn't be some kind of disrespect. Fine. But I want to know, if truly you want to follow that chart of socially incorporated, is there a way you can move on, like practical ways where you can move on socially that will not attract that kind of disrespect and inconvenience you might not be expecting?
See, one thing you should, and there are several ways you can engage people without you not without you not being attacked or your personality or without being disrespecting you. There are a lot of ways, but you should understand what we all must understand is this. But sometimes if you decide not to talk to people, we talk about them. If you decide, consciously decide not to engage people, they will even use this word antisocial, wait to us. It's the wrong. It's not how they mean. It's not how we psychologists see that. They will tag you action. So even if you decide not to talk to people, even if you decide not to navigate into people, people will give you a name. And what we are saying is that try as much as possible to engage people. It's difficult. If you realize that you find it difficult engaging people, that is why we have counselors. There is a way we can help you. Because something systematic desensitization. It is a system we can help. We can help you do that gradual by gradual, small. By the time you realize you are doing an MC program, you are in fact you are more or less like a sandbank. You are all over the place. So there is a way. Yes, you can decide not to engage people. You can decide not to step on people too, so that at least they will not retaliate. However, there are repercussions. There are effects because they will tag you. They will have some names for you to try. If you realize you're in that soup, just see someone for help. There's a lot of ways we can, or a lot of techniques we can sail you through for you to master courage to engage people. And also, sometimes you must develop tough muscles because of the resilient to be able to accumulate insults, criticisms, and all these things. Because people will always find fault in your speech. They always find fault in your writing. They always find fault even in your attitude. And that shouldn't put you down. Yes, there are times you receive some criticism, you should be down. But the following day, you should be able to put yourself up and move on.
Such a person, we also encourage you to refer the person to the counseling sector, because counselors want to understand what is causing that first before we come out with techniques and strategies. We want to know the background of that. So we can't give general, recommendations to everybody. Thank you.
Thank you so much, our counselors. My question is a very simple one. We as young people, day in, day out, are faced with the issues of stress. I know you've spoken a little more about it, but I still want to know the most effective and strategic way for we to rid ourselves out of stress. That's my question, please. The most strategic and effective way to rid ourselves of stress. Thank you.
Well, first and foremost, stress is part of life. You cannot run away from it. And if you want to achieve anything in life, be ready for that. But then you can manage it, okay? So you start early and you are prepared, knowing you can also plan ahead. But I want to say that everyone has got unique ways of handling stress. Okay, and like Mr. Opori said, come see him, go see him, and I'm sure he will help you to explore your own unique ways of handling stress. Okay, I don't know what kind of stress you are talking about. Is it academic stress, relationship stress, so kindly see the counselor for help. Okay, but then there's always a way out.
Yeah, I think that is it. Just try and see a counselor. And sometimes before, on your way of seeing a counselor, you can decide to do this for yourself. You can just sometimes tell yourself, let me relax. After relaxing, then you begin to see the positive aspect of what you are going through, what you think is stressing you. Look at the positive aspect. For instance, if it is relationship, your girlfriend says she is no more with you. On your way to your counselor, begin to see the positive aspect of it. I don't know whether I get it. But mostly you become stressed out when you dwell on the negativity, the negative aspect, and that can put you, that can lead you to more, actually, you can be more stressed than that. So once you are heading towards your counselor, begin to think positive about the issue, and that can also help you manage the stress. Thank you.
And in addition, I think, as Rabbi said, we also focus on the alternatives way to the problem, okay? If you think that that's the end of your life, and there's no way you can come out of that particular situation, that adds up to the stress. So instead of looking at the problem, we focus on what we call the solutions, what we can do. And one of the solutions is what we are saying. But let me say it again. Counselors, we don't prescribe general, therapies, okay? But we want to see, we are interested in finding out what is causing that particular thing. So if you're able to eliminate that, then we can free. Okay, thank you. But there are so many general things we can talk about. Even exercising, listening to music, walking around to observe nature, those things are there. But those things may not work for you. That's why you want to know what is causing that. So we need to focus on that. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the clarification. All right, let me take this last question. All right.
Yes, please. I heard that after a toxic relationship, we need to wait and have some respite before getting into another relationship. My question is, how long am I supposed to wait? How many days, weeks, or months is necessary? And in those waiting times, what are some of the best healthy practices I can engage in? Thank you.
And that's a very good question. Yes, you do. It's relative. Somebody can be 6 months, somebody can be a year, but you have to know yourself. When you realize you've healed from the broken heart issues, when you realize that you are okay to move on. We would want to rebound so that at least it will pain the other. So whilst you are waiting, in your period of waiting, relapsing, you can get a friend, get other friends to engage in. For instance, if you always used to be this guy, you can get another friends, ladies friends, you can just relate to every now and then, just engage them. And sometimes the mistake we do is that when we start a relationship, we ignore all our friends, our good friends. Now this time, you just revisit them, get back to them. Get something when you do, you become so happy. Something that excites your spirit, that excites your soul. Please, I hope you understand. So it should be a period where you yourself can assess that, Charlie, I am okay. I've done all my crying. I have done all my worrying. I have worried for long, and I think I want to move on. Okay. So it is relative. Somebody will do the next 2 months, the next 6 months, sometimes some people even a whole year. Sometimes even 2 years. So it's relative. But you yourself should do the personal assessment and find out whether you are okay to move on. If you've done all your crying, sometimes you can even let it. Sometimes the guys will even decide to go on, the other person will decide to move on. Let the person move on to some time, then you can start yours. With that, it can help you move on. I don't know whether you're getting. So you do the things that excite you, things that make you happy. People that when you relate to, they can give you some excitement. Why not? Just do anything that makes you happy. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for the questions. I think we are done for today, but then I would like to chip in something. I realized that today the turnout for this particular event, and even yesterday's SRC program, was very, very low. I realized this not only on Abuasi campus, but on Kumasi campus as well. I don't know, but then, since you are new here, the advice I can give you is that these programs we organize as seminars, workshops, conferences for you. They shape your life in university so that before you are done with your degree course, you are a better person of yourself in the world. All right? So whenever we come out with these programs, do what you invite your friends. Today you've learned a lot. It is going to help you. Let your friend also benefit from this same program if we have organized such programs again. All right. I know we are mostly enthused about sensational programs like entertainment and stuff, but these are equally important, educative programs that I believe next time you should see this place fill up and even some standing outside just to get something and take home. All right. So that is that. The next thing I would like to talk about is something that I learned yesterday when I went for one conference. How many of you here are on ChatGTP? Anyone on ChatGTP?
I want to give you a tip here. Anyone? None. Wow. Okay, ChatGTP is a new technology that has come into the space now, and the founder is Elon Musk. This ChatGTP, I know we have lectures here, but then this particular platform helps students in everything. It is like AI, artificial intelligence. It can help you do your assignments. It can help you. It can even teach you. It can even read. It can do everything. It is more of like the Internet of Things. All right. Those who are into IT, I believe you know. So if you are here, I'll be that way. Before you leave here, get the opportunity to download this app and then get the full maximization of it. All right. So thank you. We are done, and we would like to take the closing prayer. Before that,
what I want to say is that we thank the Almighty God for how far He has brought us. And then our facilitators or resource person from the main campus. We know that this program has been helpful to you and we are going to help you. So we thank you for honoring our invitations to come. Though we were expecting more numbers than this season, but those who have come, I think we have benefited from this program. We thank you for coming.
you can do better. You can do better. All right. So we need one of our Muslim brothers and sisters have a prayer with us as we close. Please, any volunteer. All right, we have our finances.
Please let's be in the mood of prayer. Alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alameen, Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim, Maliki Yawmiddin. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. Our Heavenly Father, we thank you for how far you have brought us. We thank you for making this program a success. We pray that as we move back into our various destinations, we send it back safely. Protect us, everyone we shall give glory and honor to you.
Amen. Amen. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Please, if you didn't give your name at the entrance before you leave, make sure. And then the evaluation from try and fill and submit to end of the program. Last thing, please, we need peer counselors. All right. As you can see,